Honourable Chairperson, it's truly incredible that the ANC would choose to close this term just before an election on what is surely their weakest card. What an own goal. Typified perfectly by Minister Nkwinti, who's now feeling very pleased with himself, getting handshakes from all of his colleagues. But what he doesn't tell you is, let's talk about the ocean economy, Minister Nkwinti. It is your government, under Operation Phakisa, that has delayed the Durban dugout port from this year to 2020. How's that for speeding up the ocean economy? Quick, fast results. Let's talk about land reform, Minister Nkwinti. I'll wait for you to listen, no problem. In every single province that you run, Minister Nkwinti, in every single province that you run, 80 to 90% of land reform projects are a failure. Just like the billion rand that you paid to Mr. Rattray, who will still manage that farm for the next 30 years. How's that for empowerment? Compared to where the DA governs, where 60 to 80% of projects are successful. Exactly the mirrored image of your track record, Minister. Now, let me say, our economy has shed 350,000 jobs in the first 3 months of this year alone. And one thing is certain, these trends will get much, much worse if our economy is downgraded next Friday. It will take years to regain our investment grade. The quickest ever has been South Korea, which took 2 years. The worst, India, which took 16 years. We don't ever want to get to that. That is why we will do everything possible. We must do everything possible in the days ahead to prove to the rating agencies that we are serious about reform. And Minister, it will not be sufficient merely to trumpet an improved working relationship between business and government and a nice venture capital fund. Those are both good things, but they cannot possibly replace the need for meaningful, deep-rooted reform in our economy. You have had more than enough time to prepare for this, Minister Gordhan. We received our first rating downgrade in early 2012, when we were still AA3 rated. Now we are BBB- rated and on the cusp of junk status. Everyone has seen this coming, like watching a train wreck in slow motion, and yet the ANC has done precious little to change course. Even now, days before we receive our harshest rebuke yet, you present us with nothing but sophistry, a PR play, nothing substantial, no real reform. The truth is that in the fight to save our economy, Minister Gordhan, the ANC and you have been AWOL. Worse than that, the only war that the ANC seems to be involved in is an all-out war against you. Evidenced today by the walkout of your own caucus during your speech, and evidenced by Minister Zulu's comment last week that you're behaving like England, whatever that means. Once again, we have heard the excuse from you today that none of this is our fault. It can all be blamed on global headwinds. Well, that is a lie, nothing but a lie, and we will never let it go unchallenged. If we are downgraded next week, and I sincerely hope we are not, then it will be because of the decisions you have made. It is no one else's fault.
Order, honourable members, order.
It is no one else's fault that you have continued to prop up expensive, corrupt, loss-making state enterprises. That is on you. It is not the global economy that has frightened off investment with crippling policy uncertainty. That was you. It was you that allowed us to fall from 32nd to 75th in global competitiveness rankings. It was you that destroyed tourism with visa regulations. Load shedding was you. You have given safe haven to a corrupt president. You have cancelled manufacturing incentives, and you have let the president and the state be captured by parasitic rent seekers. All you. All of these things are on you, and it's an insult to argue otherwise. Everyone saw this coming, and you have been AWOL. And all this while, we have been the ones leading the fight to avoid a downgrade. Wherever the DA governs, the economy is growing faster and unemployment is much, much lower. In 2015, In 2015, while the economy just grew at 1%, wherever the DA governed, it grew at 2.5%. That difference translates into unemployment numbers, the lowest unemployment in the country where we govern, and importantly, the lowest proportion of people who have given up looking for work. Every person knows, even if they're unemployed in a DA government, they can be hopeful that they will find work in a growing economy with a clean government that doesn't steal their money. In fact, this is amazing. Even as unemployment has skyrocketed in the last 3 months, it is still going down where the DA governs. That, Minister Nkwinti, is the alternative. You just need to look at the results. In Gauteng alone, 160,000 people have been unemployed in 3 months. Shame on you. That terrible reality captures the choice of this election. Our message to those people is don't stay at home on election day. In Joburg, in Tshwane, in Ekurhuleni, vote for the only party that is actually fighting to save this economy and actually fighting to save your jobs. Vote for the DA.